Morning, Randy. You gotta love a Christmas carol first thing in the day, don't you, Randy? Just to get things off and running. It's our Christmas show, the Boomer Music Experience with Randy Hummel and Dave Scott. You're going to count down the top 20 Christmas songs of all time. Is that what you're telling me, Randy?
Yeah, pretty much, Dave. We've got a mixture of some very favorite Christmas carols down through the ages, but also some popular music too. 20 songs, 20 of your favorite Christmas songs of all time. Boy, that's a tough one to squeeze only 20 in. There's so much more Christmas music than just 20 songs, as we both know.
Yeah.
But starting it out then, we'll start with the carols segment. Silent Night. It was a popular carol during the 19th century. Now, the song was originally written in Germany, and since then, it's been translated into over 140 languages. How good is that? Silent Night. Next up, we have Jingle Bells. Now, Jingle Bells has been done by many, many artists, as we know. It's one of the most non-religious popular Christmas songs. And this song, it was written by James Pierpont in Savannah, Georgia, the year 1850. Wow. How good is that? And of course, down through the years, what they've done, they've changed the lyrics to kind of conform it to more of a wintry form that most people are familiar with. And hence, Jingle Bells. Cool. Number 3, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And Hugh Martin, he wrote this fairly sad song. It was for the film Meet Me in St. Louis. Martin, the original score, he didn't like it. He wanted something a little more upbeat. So what he did, he modified the words, brought in Frank Sinatra in 1953, and had Frank do a take on it. Frank liked it so much, liked the lyrics, and, well, Dave, as you know, the rest is history. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. That's been done by so many pop artists and country artists also. Speaking of country, Alan Jackson does a great job of that song, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And just last week at the Country Music Awards, Alan Jackson received the ultimate, the Lifetime Achievement Award in country music.
Did not know that. Congratulations. No, you can't. That's excellent. Congratulations.
Yep. Next, we have at number 4, the Christmas Carol, Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. And Bob Wells and Mel Torme, they were, it's an excruciatingly hot summer day in California. And they wanted to write a winter song to kind of stay cool. How cool is that? So it took the pair, Bob Wells and Mel Torme, took them 40 minutes to write this song, The Christmas Carol.
That's crazy.
So what
That's
they
awesome,
did,
man.
They contacted Carlos Gastel. Now, Carlos Gastel at that time was manager of Nat King Cole. Well, we all know the great late Nat King Cole. So they brought him into the studio. He did a practice take. And, okay, they kind of mixed a few lyrics here and there, kind of defined the lyrics. And then Nat finally went into the studios. It was late fall of 1946, and he recorded The Christmas Carol, Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. Now,
that has to be my favorite version of that song. I don't know about you, but it's like that song was made for him, eh?
Oh, absolutely. And what they did through high tech in 1991.
Oh, yeah.
They brought in the late Natalie Cole, Nat's daughter, and they fused her voice along with Nat's voice into the Christmas Carol. Now, that's also an excellent version, too.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
The late Nat King Cole, he will always have the original version with his daughter Natalie singing with him in 1991, a very close second. Yeah, that's just a tremendous Christmas song.
It is.
And, of course, next up, right in front of me, Der Bingo, Bing Crosby, his Merry Christmas album, and from that album, White Christmas, from the movie of the same name. Irving Berlin classic, absolutely. And it's probably the most well-known of all the Christmas songs. And it is also, Dave, I want to share with our listeners, at this point in time, it is still the best-selling single of all time. Now, Taylor Swift, she's closing in on that mark.
Mariah Carey,
still,
Taylor
Bing
Swift.
Crosby, White Christmas, the best-selling single of all time.
And
this
you can't,
song,
you can't go through Christmas without hearing it.
No,
like it's everywhere. You know what I mean?
That's
You're going to hear it.
And just to share with our listeners, Dave, Bing Crosby's rendition won the Academy Award for Best Song for the film White Christmas, the year 1942. Yes.
The 40s.
Next up, we have the 12 Days of Christmas.
Quick question: why were the 40s so big for Christmas carols? What was it? Just that generation of music, like with the singers?
I think so, Dave. Yeah, I think you've hit the nail right on the head. The 40s were loaded with lots of great Christmas traditional music, and these are songs that have lasted through generations and generations. And today we're 2022. We still enjoy the basic carols way back decades ago. And that gives you an appreciation, actually, of how good the music was back then also. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree. And I think it has to do with nostalgia. I think we all crave that Christmas when we were kids. And that music was such a big part of it. It carries over, and then our kids hear it, right? I think it's I think that's probably, when you put on the Christmas music, if you don't get in the spirit, something's not right. Right.
Exactly.
I think personally, but yeah, it's kind of interesting when you're nailing these 1940s, and I'm like, wow, you think about that. What a turn in music. I mean, it probably went from the church gospel versions, maybe of that era, to these pop versions that were pretty cool and fun for kids. And, it's just fun Christmas music, I guess.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Next, we move along to the 12 Days of Christmas. And it's kind of a befuddling array of words, but it really significantly generalizes the 12 days before Christmas in complete stages. And this has been a very popular Christmas carol. So we wish you a Merry Christmas. Here again, this song has been done by a lot of artists.
We're not talking about Bob and Doug's 12 Days of Christmas? Is that what you're saying to me?
That's right. Yep. Right on.
Mackenzie?
Yeah, right on, Dave.
That's probably the version my kids know, unfortunately. Oh, well, that's pretty... sorry to interrupt you there, Randy. I'm trying to throw little barbs in at you as you go, I guess, today.
I'm glad you interjected there. That's great.
Hey, what's in that cup, by the way, young man? What are you toasting this morning?
So we wish you a Merry Christmas.
Oh, yes.
Here again, this song has been recorded by many artists, not only in the pop music, but here again in the country music. Amy Grant, country music, she's got a great version of this in Amy Grant's Christmas CD. If you get a chance to listen to it, she just aces it. It's got a beautiful voice. So we wish you a Merry Christmas. This started out during the Tudor era when carolers went from door to door to sing carols. That goes way back. And we have at number 8, Here Comes Santa Claus. Well, in 1946, Gene Autry, this is how this came into being. I really want to share this with the audience. They'll really get a kick out of this one. Excuse the pun on words. Gene Autry was riding his horse, Champion, down Hollywood Boulevard. It was during their annual Christmas parade. And he was inspired to create a song after hearing a man who cried out excitingly, "Here comes Santa Claus." Well, now, as soon as Gene heard that, he automatically said, "Here comes Santa Claus." Then he started working on lyrics, then song theory, and wow. And after that, as we know, Here Comes Santa Claus has been a Christmas favorite each and every year. Now, there's another artist who really does super justice to this song, and that, of course, is the late Elvis Presley. And that was done by Elvis in 1962. So, here
Great
comes
story.
Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And you know, Dave, all of the Christmas dances that I've DJ'd over the years and currently, Santa comes in, usually right after dinner. Santa comes in, and a great bag of toys and wishes, and we cue up the song "Here Comes Santa Claus" by Elvis Presley. It's a little more upbeat. I mean, Gene Autry's version, don't get me wrong, it's a great version. But Elvis Presley, he really personifies this song, and he does it up so well, and it really creates for a wonderful atmosphere of surprise. When Jolly St. Nick comes into that room, look out. That's great. Next, we have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Yeah, I don't have a red nose either. Following the popularity of Here Comes Santa Claus, every songwriter wanted to jump on the bandwagon and get Gene Autry to record Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So, Inga Autry, Gene's wife, she was a woman of charm, and she was very well liked too. In fact, she was just as popular in music as Gene Autry was. So, what she did, she fiddled a bit with some of the phrases, some of the lyrics, and they put together the final audition of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. The year was 1949. So we've got to give Inga Autry, half the credit. Okay, so Gene sung the final version, but hey, she refined it, defined it, did the lyrics, did the music to it. Really, she was a hard worker on this song. But again, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer has become and still is one of the most favorite Christmas songs for the year.
Perfect.
Next up, we have Joy to the World. And of course, Joy to the World, this goes way back to 1719. And it was released in Psalms of David imitated. So here again, through the New Testament and through the changing of lyrics and music scripture here, they concocted, and it's a very happy and positive song, Joy to the World. Next up, we have Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Now, this poem was originally written by Charles Wesley to be performed at the high school class. Now, the original song was 10 four-line verses singing glory to the newborn king. That's how this song got started. So here again, George Whitefield, he concocted different lyrics, updated the music, and put together Hark the Herald Angels Sing. And this is a song I can guarantee you at any Christmas church service, you will hear this carol sung at church. Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Next up, we have another carol, O Holy Night. Now, Placide Chapeau was a local poet. He was a parish priest in a tiny French hamlet, and he wrote the poem, O Holy Night. And so basically, he enlisted the help of a friend, Adolphe Adams, to write the music. They wrote the music. 3 weeks later, they sung it Christmas Eve. And this hymn, O Holy Night, it was brought to the United States by John Dwight during the Civil War. So quite a history there of O Holy Night. Santa Claus is coming to town. And this is an upbeat Christmas song, of course. It was written by James Gillespie. And he was first heard on the Eddie Cantor radio show back in 1934. Wow. So here we have Santa Claus Coming to Town. And again, it didn't take James long to write this up. 45 minutes, had all the lyrics, just kind of translated some of the lyrics, updated the beat, and within 24 hours, done deal. Okay, now we're going to hit, Dave, for our audience, some of the more popular music. We're going to the pop scene. And one that comes to mind, major, big time, All I Want for Christmas is My Two Front Teeth. Just my two front teeth. This sugary song is sung with the perspective of a child with a simple request. That's all I want.
That's
My
all
two
I want.
front teeth.
Yeah.
And this song really went up the charts. It was recorded by the City Slickers in 1948. And it's been really an essential Christmas song since then. 1948. Boy, that was a long time ago.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, that was a good year. I came into this world that year.
Ah, there you go.
Anyway, next up we have O Tannenbaum. This German carol is commonly translated as O Christmas Tree. And it's a good, solid tune. Brooks rode his horse from Jerusalem to Bethlehem in 1865, and he participated in the Nativity's 5-hour Christmas Eve celebration. And this song was performed. How good is that?
I didn't know that. It's pretty cool.
Next up, we have, and this is a good one. Everybody loves this one. Feliz Navidad. Bridging two cultures, resulting in one of Jose Feliciano's most stunning tunes. This was released in 1970. And you hear this on the radio, all the Christmas songs, by far, one of the most favorite, endearing songs. And it's definitely up there, in my top 5 songs for Christmas songs. How about yourself, Dave?
I'd put that one up there for sure. It's a classic, and I always enjoy hearing it. That's for sure.
Yep. Next up, the year was 1984, Last Christmas. And this was a Wham hit. It's a kind of a chirpy little tune with lyrics that are deep. And George Michael, at the time, was 21 years young when he wrote and produced the song. It was produced in actually August of 1984. And George Michael, Last Christmas. And it is a really peppy, chirpy song.
Yep.
This is a must play for Christmas, Last Christmas. And we have Happy Xmas, War is Over. Now, this song, despite being released ahead of Christmas in 1971, it dated back several years, and we go to the setting of the Vietnam War in 1967. The setting of the song, and of course, John Lennon and Yoko Ono were peace campaigners participating in that movement. Happy Christmas, War is Over was released in 1971 as a holiday season message calling for change coming into the midst of the Vietnam War. And even to this day, Dave, I want to share this with our audience. This song is still a Christmas favorite. And in fact, last December, 2021, that's right, this song was 50 years old. So this song is 51 years old this Christmas.
It still resonates with society today with what the world's going through.
Mm-hmm. And next up we have, yes. All I Want for Christmas Is You. Mariah Carey, an American singer-songwriter and record producer, recorded her 4th studio album and her first holiday album ever, entitled Merry Christmas, 1994. And so she recorded this on October 29th, 1994. The song is an upbeat love ballad with chimes backed up with Moog synthesizers. The song became a Christmas classic, and its popularity grew and grew and grew. And Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You, was praised by the critics from the New Yorker. Now, that in itself makes a statement, because the paper, the New Yorker, their critics are just unbelievable. You got to be darn good to get by those critics from the New Yorker. So anyway, Mariah Carey's song, it became a global hit, topping the charts in 26 countries, just to name a few, right here in Canada, Australia, France, and Germany. And in 2019, 25 years after the original release, All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey, this song, just 3 years ago, topped the Billboard charts again. First time in 25 years. And by doing that, it broke many multiple records for the longest road to number one. Wow. And Mariah Carey, major kudos to you. Great song.
Great song.
Now, Dave, as I had mentioned earlier in the broadcast, we can't just take 20 really super Christmas songs. There's many, many others that I haven't mentioned, but I'm just going to hit the highlights on maybe a few here. Popular Christmas music that everyone can identify with. And we start out, Jingle Bell Rock, Bobby Helms, the year 1957. Always a Christmas classic.
Yep.
Holly Jolly Christmas, Burl Ives, 1964. I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, Jimmy Boyd, the year 1952. Brenda Lee's Rockin' Round the Christmas Tree. That's always a good one. That's a dance floor filler, I guarantee you, Dave. The year was 1960. Santa Baby. Now, Santa Baby, there's a lot of artists who have recorded this, but the original artist, to my way of thinking, still has the best version, and that was Eartha Kitt, the year 1962. The Beach Boys, Little Saint Nick. That's an upbeat toonie from 1965. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And of course, that's on this album, the Merry Christmas album by Bing Crosby. 1963 for Durbingo. And Baby, It's Cold Outside. Dean Martin, 1965. Yeah, this actually is in the Christmas song. Boy, Baby, It's Cold Outside. And I'll tell you, it is cold outside right now. Those winds are really gusting. So, folks, if you have to go outside today on the road, please drive carefully. These wind gusts are really picking up. And I've got to mention just one more, Dave, The Little Drummer Boy.
I was hoping you'd get to it.
Simeon Chorale from 1965.
Yeah, I like
Those
that
are just a few other favorite Christmas tunes that we didn't mention on our top 20 of all time.
Yeah. It's amazing how many there is, when you start thinking now. And now I got to, get it in my playlist, my shuffle put together, because Little Drummer Boy by Bob Seger is one of my favorites. Springsteen, Here Comes Santa Claus. You got all those ones that Anne Murray, Winter Wonderland, right? There's many good ones like that. Those are probably my top three that I always make sure I get to listen to. And then you just filled in the void with everything else that I'd forgotten about. So I got to get ready for this holiday season to enjoy the music. Now, do you have the tunes on at home all the time through the season? I know I do. Do you do that too?
Yes, I do, Dave. Yeah. In fact, with Charlene just in back of me here, this is her bake room, just in back of my setup here. Yeah. She always has the radio on, and that music is very soothing. When you're at work, doing whatever, background music really does make it. And in fact, it's a known fact in the Guinness World Book of Records that whatever time of season, be it Christmas, be it Easter, whenever, retail stores who play background music and I'm talking like soft background music,
Yeah.
that increases their sales. And
For
why
sure
is
it
that?
does. Yeah.
Because the people come in, they're relaxed. You might even see a few of them singing the lyrics to a particular song that's on the radio at that particular given time. But it's a known fact that background music creates sales. But here again, you've got to have the right background music.
Yeah, exactly.
It can't be like hip hop or rapper and nothing like that. It's got to be very soft, low key, low volume, and it works. It's a proven fact.
So if you were stuck on in a Buffalo snowstorm that just went through and you're stuck in your car, what's the one Christmas album you want to have with you?
Oh,
Or CD, I guess, at that time, or tape, or what on your phone? What's the one Christmas album that that you'd want to hear? Is there anyone in particular?
I would say, Dave, the Christmas song, Chestnuts Roasting Over an Open Fire. And number 2,
warm.
Bing Crosby's White Christmas.
There you go. I mean, I think those things are important. And you mentioned earlier, and I'm going to ask again, what do people want to hear you've got lots of dances coming up. It's Christmas time. I know you're busy as heck, but is there, like you said, Rocking Around the Christmas Trees one? Is there a couple other go-tos that you're just like, oh, they're going to ask for this, so I might as well just get it out now and have it ready? Can you give us a couple clues?
Yeah, usually I monitor the crowds quite closely, and the BMPs, beats per minute on a song, are crucial to keep the flow of the dance floor moving. And I specifically focus on that. I know the music that I have, and it's a real challenge. Okay, you're playing one particular song, okay, then you just segue right into the next song.
Yeah.
So your beats per minute are steady. But then again, when you come to attrition, you got to know when to slow it down, play a couple of slow songs. And this is all focusing on your dance floor. Extremely critical, your beats per minute.
So I guess what you're saying is the Christmas songs, you have them already, and you're sort of looking reflectively at that audience to see what the mood is. You're setting the tone, really, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. And to help that process, Dave, I always put dance request cards out at each of the tables. And then during the evening of dance, which is usually 4 to 5 hours, say 7 to midnight or 8 to midnight, I can kind of focus on, okay, so Jane wants to hear this, John wants to hear this, and I kind of amalgamate and say, okay, well, let's do a set on this. We'll do maybe 4 or 5 songs in this and this and this. And thus, I incorporate the dance song requests, but I also keep the beat on the dance floor moving.
It's cool. I think, with the holiday season upon us, I think too, I always find that it's fun to, whatever my kids listen to, so that music we'll usually have on when they're here to visit. And it's just, it makes such a great warm environment. The music always at this time of year provides that. And I think that's great for people to remember. And I know
absolutely, Dave.
Some people might get a little bored of Christmas music, but I enjoy it. You know what? You got a month of it, take it in, enjoy it, listen to it and catch up on all those classics. Like you said, I mean, the 1940s, I think there was 6 songs, big songs, 6, 7 songs that you mentioned that were in that era. And maybe the war was over. Maybe people were starting to get excited again. And it's really great to see how that music rolled out back then that we all listen to today still with that pop touch to it. Great. I got to tell you, Randy, 2022, another banner year doing these with you. I really appreciate it. I know this is our last one for the year. I just want to say thank you for keep doing this, and people keep watching and listening to our shows. Little toast. I see you got a cup there. I see you have a cup there.
There we are.
Quick toast. Cheers.
Toast. Merry Christmas, Dave.
Merry
to
Christmas,
you and yours.
Randy.
A very blessed and safe Christmas also.
That's a wrap for another year, folks. Mr. Hummel, you take care. Say hi to your missus. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, young man. Take care, okay?
Will do, Dave, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the new year, 2023. We've got lots of interesting and exciting shows coming up.